Well, hey everybody. Hope you are doing well and that you enjoyed class on Thursday. I know that one of the things I mentioned early on was that you are continually taking observations with your biome jar. And here's mine. And hopefully your fish are still alive. My little guy is. I don't know if you can see him in there, but I've got a little Zebradanio. He's swimming around and seems to be doing just fine. He might be a little lonely, but I think he's doing okay. So make sure that you are continuing to take observations of your jar all the time. And we are going to get a little bit deeper in terms of how we can do some more testing on your biome jars, and we'll do that in class on Thursday. What I'd like you to do this week are two different assignments. The first one is I'd like you to take a look at all of the data that you've collected with the pH materials, the pH of the materials that we looked at in class. And I'd like you, in your notebooks, to create a chart that looks similar to this one right here. You don't need to add the colors to it, but I would like you to have the entire pH scale written out from 0 to 14, and just like they've done here where they have included battery acid, lemon juice, vinegar, those kinds of things, I want you to put in the items that you've tested and put those on the chart. And the chart can go up and down, vertically like you see right here, or it can go horizontally. But do that on one page in your science notebook so that you have a way to organize everything that we've done so far so that it begins to make a little bit more sense in terms of where the different pH levels are for some of the materials that we've taken a look at. The next thing I want to talk to you about is getting ready to share a little bit of the observations that you've made with your biome jar. One of the things that scientists do is they come up with a question, and in our case we have a question here. What happens when we create this biome jar? And there's lots of other little questions that can come out of that, like what happens to the grass that we planted? What about the soil and the soil composition? What about the recycling of the water? We talked about how the water comes back up through the soil and causes condensation on the top of our biome jar and basically rains back down on the grass. How tall is the grass getting? What about the fish? What about, things like that? So what scientists do is they ask themselves questions, then they go out and they gather information. That's called data collection. And eventually what they do is they share their results with somebody. So I know we're not all the way through the project, but I would like you to follow that process and come to class prepared on Thursday to share your observations about your biome jar to this point. So just like scientists, you've asked a question, you're gathering information, and you're going to report back to us in some way the information that you are seeing in your biome jar. So that can take the form of many different things. You could create a poster. So if you've got some poster paper at home or even a piece of typing paper, computer paper, and just do a quick little poster on that. You could create a PowerPoint if you wanted. If you create a PowerPoint and put it on a zip drive or a pen drive, something like this, and actually the little pig from Angry Birds is a zip drive, I can pull it out. I will have my computer in class on Thursday, and we can plug your zip drive in, drive your PowerPoint presentation, and then you can present that to the class. Maybe you just want to take a page in your science notebook and do some sort of a report presentation on that page. That's fine, but prepare something ahead of time. Come to class ready to share that with the rest of us, and they're short. They're very short, maybe 2 to 3 minutes at the most. You're just sharing with us what you've learned. So that's the second assignment. The first one was to do that pH chart. The second one is to prepare a short presentation for us to share where you are in terms of observation with your biome jar. The only other thing I want to mention is if you need to email me between class sessions, please use the graves@montana.edu email. I've listed that on the ecology homepage on the course. There is another email that you sometimes end up with, and I think it's called jgravesedu or john@jgravesedu.com. Don't use that one. Use the graves@montana.edu email. So have fun with these two assignments this week, and I will see you in class on Thursday.